Apalak, hi, how are you?
Hey Amit, all fine. How are you?
I'm doing great, as usual, Apalak. Apalak, ChatGPT, the most recent global tech sensation,
Absolutely.
which recently crossed about 1 million users within, I think, 1 week of launch.
Right.
And there are recent reports that it has hit an ethical roadblock and gets banned by some of the leading institutions like the New York Education Department. How do you see this development?
Amit, very few tech stories make the kind of headlines that ChatGPT did. Right.
Absolutely.
This is going to get broadcasted. Our news story get broadcasted on many social media platforms, LinkedIn being one. And I remember when the ChatGPT phenomena hit us, every other story that I was going through in my reel was in and around ChatGPT. Many stories were apparently written with support of ChatGPT.
Absolutely. Even I have tried that.
Exactly. I on my head, I'll be very honest and candid to admit that I haven't yet used ChatGPT. I'm still relying on the old world tools of thinking through my head and writing whatever I can.
Right.
So, but having said so, yes, ChatGPT crossed about 1 million users within a week. This is one of the quickest million subscribers that one can think of. I think there are a lot of stories which have gone by. How Netflix took about 3 years, and how many other applications took about much more time, which ChatGPT took about just a week to do so. But having said so, the irony is, that it got the last and the big one to ban ChatGPT to be used was by ICML, which stands for International Conference on Machine Language. So what the backdrop story is, and in the most recent news that came across, that ICML was inviting papers in and around the space of machine learning. And one of the caveats that was mentioned that one should not be using any text which is generated from a large-scale language model, which is LLM as they are called. ChatGPT is an example of LLM, right? So the irony stands for this is a consortium of forum on machine language and is banning the use of ChatGPT. So I think it augurs very deeply the implication of ChatGPT. Most of the people who are tuned in will know what ChatGPT is. Like you said, many of you have already used ChatGPT. But for those who have not, people like me, I'll probably like a very quick definition of what ChatGPT. ChatGPT is nothing but it has a remarkable ability, to interact in conversational dialogue form and provide responses that can appear surprisingly human. And that's the fundamental difference. There's a lot of claims where they say that this is the biggest breakthrough outside the modern search engines of today. I mean, when we think about search engines, the first name that comes to your mind is Google.
Absolutely.
Google is what it is today, thanks to its Google search engine. ChatGPT, a lot of people are putting claims that this can disrupt the current business model of the search engine models because this is so intuitive. And and since it's a human-based conversational program, it makes conversation easy, and the outputs are scarily human. So that's where we are. In fact, because as a result of this, a lot of people are saying claims like, for instance, you gave the example of New York Education Department. Very recently, WeChat, which is a Chinese social media platform, banned it from being used. The worry is, it's very tough to identify, what information is being churned out by human beings vis-a-vis platforms like ChatGPT. So while there's a lot of hue and cry about whether it's ethical, non-ethical, the bigger question that I think in front of us is, to identify what is the data that is coming out from ChatGPT. How do I identify whether a human being wrote that or a ChatGPT? Because it's really tough to identify from both of them.
Absolutely, Apalak. Great inputs. And Apalak, if we have to summarize this, what is Thinkful's take on this development?
Amit, glad that you asked that. Now, this I wish I could make it short, but this one we would need a longer explanation. My father being a biotechnologist, I've read a lot of stories around cloning. Cloning is a very debated topic. It can be used and misused. And leading to momentous impact. Right. Similarly, when we speak about search engines, it is said, a person can make a crude bomb in 3 to 4 simple steps by just searching how to make a crude bomb on the internet. So what I'm trying to tell you is, the impact of such a far-reaching platform could be immense, right? It can make a world a better place to be in. I think search engines, we have to give it to them, has had a huge impact globally, right? The world that we live today was very different before and after the search engine. So I guess ChatGPT has the provisions to be as far-reaching and scary if used inappropriately. But at the same time, we should not rob the benefit that this amazing technology has to offer. So I guess the right checks and balances are in order to make sure people use it effectively, but not use it misappropriately.
Right.
That's it from my end.
Absolutely, Apalak. Indeed, checks and balances is the need of the hour. Great, Apalak. Great insights, and thank you so much. Look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Sure. Bye, Amit.